Soccer Sunday live with Nationwide. Football matters.
Are you sitting comfortably?
Welcome to our first live match of the new year here on Soccer Sunday, and what a cracker it should be as Swindon Town, back under Andy King, take on Danny Wilson's high-flying Bristol City youngsters. The match kicks off in around 15 minutes' time and we'll be starting the build-up in just a minute. At the end of the live game, we'll see Bristol Rovers in action in yesterday's match against Scunthorpe, and throughout the afternoon, we'll seek the comments from the former Rovers and former Swindon midfielder, Mark Walters. Now then, Mark.
Hi.
Now, you played for Swindon a couple of years ago, of course.
Yeah, I left just over 2 years ago now, yeah.
Yeah, now you're with Rovers, so what about City? How do you think they're going to get on?
They're a strong team. They played us down last Wednesday. They're a very strong, very organised team. Doherty, I think he'd done well for them as he protected the back three, and all their moves started through him destroying our moves. So it's going to be a good game. Obviously, they're very strong, very confident at the moment. So Swindon are going to have a lot to play for today.
I didn't mention Wednesday's defeat for you, by the way. Now then, let's get straight over to the ground, because I understand our pitchside reporter Nigel Turner is with the Swindon manager Andy King.
Well, Andy, big local derby for you. I'm sure you're looking forward to being in the limelight together with the players.
Yeah, I mean, it's about players. I ain't worried about being in the limelight. I've had my day. But yeah, I think just days like this make you realise that what the game's about. It's much better than a normal league game. The TV's here, there's a little bit more for the players, bigger crowd. Yeah, it's nice and nice. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a nice day.
And Bristol City is as big a test as you can get at the moment.
I think so. I think, I've said all along, what Danny did last year was tremendous after the start he had, and I always think that this club achievement is to get promotion this year. They're that big a club, no simpler statement than last week's Bristol derby with 18,000 people when Oldham Blackpool had 3. That tells you the thought of football in the city. It's a magnificent achievement for both clubs, but they are a big club. They have scope, and I think at the moment they're in a vein of form, and this is a big test for us. But we're at home, and that gives us an advantage.
OK, Andy, thanks very much.
Thank you, Nigel.
Now, a man like yourself, Mark, who played in front of TV cameras all the time, won't worry about live TV cameras. What about some of these players? Does it affect them? It certainly seemed to when Swindon played against Cardiff earlier in the season. Yeah,
I believe so, particularly when the young lads aren't really used to it. They maybe take the odd chance where, under normal circumstances, they wouldn't, or sometimes, quite simply, sometimes they freeze. So, people kid themselves to say it doesn't affect them at all, particularly at this level. I think they definitely are aware of certain things, and they do certain things that they normally wouldn't do in a normal run-of-the-mill game. OK, Mark, well, I can go straight back to the ground again, I understand, because this time Nigel is with Danny Wilson.
Well, with me down in the dressing room is Danny Wilson. Danny, looking forward to what should be a cracking local derby?
I am looking forward to it, yeah. I think it's all set up for a great game. I think there's going to be a good crowd in there. We've come off the back of a decent midweek win and a couple of good results in previous weeks, so it plans out to be a good game. I'm sure it will be.
Swindon consistently inconsistent, but they have gone 6 games unbeaten here, so it'll be a tough one for you.
Well, exactly right, and I think that people underestimate, sometimes, because of position in the league as well, but many times it's been said before, we don't take that into account at the moment. We know it's going to be a hard game, a challenge, and a lot of pride at stake at the moment for both sides.
And a very quick word about your team selection today.
It's really picked itself, quite honestly. I think we had a couple of injuries from midweek in Tommy Doherty, who's had to step down with a knee injury, and so has Lee Matthews with an ankle injury. So in those places comes Brian Tinian, a young apprentice that's coming through the ranks there, and up front is Tony Thorpe coming back in.
OK, Danny, hope you enjoy the game and may it be the best team that wins.
Well, let's hope so.
Danny, thanks very much indeed. So that's the situation down here in the dressing room area. Let's go up to the commentary box to Phil Duffel and Bobby Gould.
Yeah, thanks, Nigel. Boiling up nicely for what we hope will be a great match. The first here at the County Ground of 2002. Well, Bobby, crystal ball time. Let's try and pick out some potential match winners. On the Swindon side, I guess you look at Danny Invincible.
Yes, he's a player that really set the world on fire last season, didn't he? Not quite found his best position yet. Is it wide? Is it through the middle? And in any game of football, the only thing that never changes is the width of a football field. So I just think we might see Mr. Invincible going down the flanks today.
He's an Aussie. He doesn't like like losing either. Now we look on the opposite side. A similar type of player and another danger man, obviously Scott Murray for City.
Yes, he's a very talented young man, came from Aston Villa, had an exceptional season last year. This year he's not quite at the same vein as he was, but I believe he has ability, and as an ex-centre forward I used to know that I wanted the ball delivered into the box, and he can deliver, but not only that, he can take a goal as well.
OK, well, whoever the stars of the show are going to be, we're hoping for a fantastic afternoon's entertainment. That's it for now from the County Ground. Back to the studio and Mark and Jed.
OK, thanks very much to Phil. They kick off then just a few minutes away, so you have the time of this commercial break to get the tinnies and the crisps lined up. We'll see you very soon.
Soccer Sunday live with Nationwide. Football matters.
Collect cameras, cream egg wrappers to bid for the experience of a lifetime. How will you eat yours?
Ah, freedom to do whatever you want. But what's this? Unreliable connections? Painfully slow getting online? Keep breaking down? Then you want to be with FreeServe, because we've doubled our network capacity so you can enjoy the freedom of a more reliable internet connection. And all for a groovy $12.99 a month. For a free trial, call 0800 970 8890 or visit freeserve.com.
This is my stag night. I shall be acting like a stag.
Them behaving badly this weekend on UK Gold.
Why do I brush with Sensodyne Total Care every day? It's got everything my regular toothpaste has. And because it's Sensodyne, it helps stop the pain of sensitive teeth. But if you stop using it, you can become sensitive to hot and cold again. Use Total Care twice every day and you might not get a shock. Sensodyne, Total Care for sensitive teeth.
Zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yes, zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Hit, hit, hit. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, 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 zoom. Yeah, zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, zoom, zoom. Hey, mom. Yeah, zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom.
Oh, read me that thing about Latino lovers.
Oh, it looks really funny.
Go on, my hands are all wet.
Look, everybody, she's scared.
Just a bit at the end.
She wants you to read it.
Do you want another cup of tea?
No, thanks.
Can't read.
Could I use your loo?
If you're frustrated by your reading, writing or maths, call 08000 150 650. Get rid of your gremlins and get on.
It's worse than we thought. You'll have to use the probe. Now go under the rim. Weeks of dirt and grime. You'll need new Harpic Power Foam, our amazing new cleaning system. First it clings, then expands, so you can clean the rim and the whole toilet effortlessly. New Harpic Power Foam, expert cleaning power. And now, to tackle the buildup of limescale in those inaccessible areas below the waterline, Harpic brings you new power tablets, eliminating limescale completely. Harpic, expert cleaning power.
Mum's not answering. She always answers. Do you think she's gone out in this cold weather with her hip?
I'm sure she's old enough to look after herself.
Yeah, Mum, hi, it's me. I'm just phoning to see if you're all right. Will you give me a ring back?
With BT's free answer 1571, you'll always get the message, even when you can't get to the phone.
Hi, Mum, it's me. I'm just phoning to see if you're all right.
Who's that?
Just my daughter. I'll ring her later.
Oh!
Soccer Sunday live with Nationwide. Football matters.
Welcome back. Now then, just about time to cross over to the county ground and join our commentators. Mark's told me that he thinks it's going to be 2-1 to Swindon. For balance, I'll say 2-1 to City. Let's see what happens as we join our commentators, Bobby Gould and Phil Duffel.
Yes, thanks very much, Jed. A warm welcome from the county ground. We're still just waiting for the appearance of the teams ahead of this afternoon's eagerly anticipated derby clash. Remember, it's Swindon's first home game of the new year, but it's Bristol City's second derby game in a matter of days, following, of course, that midweek win over Bristol Rovers in the LDV Vance Trophy. Well, here they come. As you can see from the pictures, it's green for go for the away side. The referee has already ordered Bristol City to change their strip from what they were planning to wear, which would have been white, red, white, to all green to avoid any potential colour clash. Well, fans from both sides hoping for a win. It's important for City to maintain their promotion challenge. Swindon looking to get away from any danger at the bottom of the table. We can now take a check on the two teams. Swindon unbeaten in their last 6 league and cup matches at the county ground. Their form on the field is healthier than their finances off it, perhaps. The lifting of a midweek transfer embargo has allowed the Wiltshire club to bring in striker Dominic Foley on loan from Watford, and the Republic of Ireland international gets an immediate debut up front. With Grazioli, Gurney and Howe all suspended, there are 3 changes in all, with Adam Willis and Sol Davis recalled to the team. Now, Swindon's multicultural strike force includes Eric Saban, signed from French second division club Vascal in the summer. Town are hoping that he'll be a lower league Thierry Henry. Well, the pace is certainly there, but with just 2 goals to his name so far, Saban is clearly not yet the finished article. Among those trying to stop the Frenchman today is Matt Hill. He's rather surprisingly made more appearances in a Bristol City shirt than any other player this season. A measure of Danny Wilson's faith in a defender who's not yet 21 and stands just 5 feet 8 inches tall. Well, Hill takes his place for game number 34 of a busy season in a City side beaten just once in their last 11 outings. Steve Phillips continues to deputise for the injured Stowell in goal, and up front, that 2 from 3 striker debate has been resolved by an injury to midweek hero Lee Matthews. So it's top scorer Tony Thorpe back after a ban, and Lee Peacock in attack. The other change sees the experienced Brian Tinian in. He'll be midfield anchorman as well as skipper. He replaces Tom Doherty. Well, Bobby, derby game, sometimes difficult to call. Let's just mention our match referee, Uriah Rennie, who comes from Sheffield and who's a martial arts expert, so no arguing with him, gentlemen. Bobby, he's got the task of controlling it out there. What kind of a derby game do you think we'll get this afternoon?
Well, the first 5-10 minutes will give us that indication of teams wanting to make the opposition turn, face their own goal, or whether people are going to play to feet. They have the option, and it all depends which manager has decided which way to go. To feet or spin them round to face their own goal.
Well, away we go then. Swindon in red. No, we don't. Full start. Back in the starting stalls. Willie Carson will know all about that, of course, the Swindon chairman. Mr. Rennie just showing everybody right from the start that he's the man in charge. And we'll go when he's ready. And he's ready now. And Swindon in familiar red and white get us underway in match number 87 between these local rivals. For the record, the score at kick-off reads Bristol City 37 wins, Swindon 23 and 26 draws. Early touch here for Foley, the new Swindon signing, and Murray with a diving header gets it back to his goalkeeper. City's incentive, they're looking to complete a league double over Swindon and to stay on the shirt tails of the new leaders Reading and second place Stoke, who are also in action elsewhere this afternoon. Swindon, for their part, know that a win would set them up nicely. They've got a very busy second half of the month. 5 more league fixtures scheduled before the end of January, so no time to pause for breath for them. Grimming, the giant Swindon goalkeeper, to launch it forward. It's cleared everybody, and Davis has hooked it into the middle where no one in a red shirt was waiting. Comfortable take in the end for Phillips. Always nice for the goalkeeper to get a comfortable touch on the ball early on. This is Murray back to Amankwa, looking for the forward run of Burnell. Flick on for Thorpe, offside flag raised far side. Thorpe, remember, back in the side after his ban, which caused him to miss the Derby game. But remember, City's leading top scorer so far this season with 12.
Danny Wilson there.
Saying beforehand the team virtually picked itself today. Saban with the touch, and Amankwa clears, only as far as McAreevy, although he couldn't take it down on the chest.
Not a lot of coherent play at the moment, Phil, but teams just finding their way. What system are we playing against? And players looking at Swindon, and they seem to be playing 3 at the back, 5 in midfield and 2 up front.
This is Mickey Bell. Trying to angle it in for Murray, brimming quickly off his line. David Duke for Swindon. 2 number 11s together. Tinian just a little over-enthusiastic in his zeal to get the ball. Free kick quickly taken though by Swindon. And this is Adam Willis with a bit of space to work in. Danny Invincible picks up for Swindon. A roar picks up around the ground. Swindon fans love to see him in possession, but Tinian's robbed him.
Great play there from Tinian. Couldn't deliver it, just waited for the run. And another good ball forward.
Unlucky from Bell. Peacock appreciated the idea, at least, from the left wing-back. Wrestling match there involving Foley and Amankwa. Dominic Foley, of course, will be eager to make his mark as soon as possible after arriving on loan from Watford.
Sweet left foot he's got, and will be looking to get back in the action. He's been idling along at Watford this season with no future there under Vialli, so opportunity for him to come and play football.
Same for Peacock, Willis jumping with him, Invincible clears. Saban cushioned it nicely, but City have the ball back in the shape of Danny Coles. It's just taking every available second over the clearance.
Adam Willis there is just making contact with Tony Thorpe, and he's just feeling the effects of that. Just caught him on the ankle, looks a little bit uncomfortable at the moment, and that's one thing you don't like in the early parts of a game. Here he is, he's stretching. There's definitely a free kick there, and he's caught the ankle of Tony Thorpe, and he has a little bit of a glare there at Adam Willis.
It's kind of welcome back to the action. Played forward by Hill to Peacock. Unable to ease it through for Bell though. Alan Reeves saw to that. Swindon's captain. He was sent off, unfortunately, in the first game between these teams, so he won't be looking for a repeat of that particular afternoon. Again, remember that Bristol City won by 3-1 at Ashton Gate back in August.
Mickey Bell scored a great goal the other evening against Bristol Rovers, cutting in on his right foot, unexpected for him, but really enjoys playing that wing-back role.
Yes, it should hopefully make for a good game with the likes of Bell and Davis for Swindon, Murray and Invincible players who like to get wide. It's maybe there that you can open up an otherwise congested derby match. This is McAreevy for Swindon, being forced back towards his own corner flag. Did well in a tight situation, the young player, former Northern Ireland under-21 international. And making the most of a rare start, really, with Swindon's midfield decimated a little with injury and suspension this afternoon.
Quite comfortable to come all the way out, Bristol City there, just play possession football, Defenders drop off. Coles and Mamanqua and Hill quite comfortable with the ball.
Mamanqua neatly away from Saban, at least initially so.
And Mr. Rennie speak French, I wonder. Kevin Mamanqua there is outstanding prospect for me. Tremendous athlete, great pace. Can either play wing back or centre half in the three, as we've seen.
It's a very young Bristol City central defence in terms of the three players there, but they've done so well for the team. No reason to change it. Well, the likes of Mark Lever can't get back in the side. Hayward at the back for Swindon. Burnell prevented his clearance from travelling too far upfield, but Swindon do now have the throw.
A little bit sterile at the moment, isn't it? You know, there's lack of excitement for everybody, but everybody just finding their feet, trying to feel comfortable out there.
Occasionally you get a derby game that really fires from the start, but usually they're like kind of boxing matches where everybody spars for a while before the big punches come out. City trying now with Peacock. Best chance so far, but no real threat to Bart Grimink from Lee Peacock.
Tony Thorpe there having a good look, delivers this lovely little ball, timing another run there from Peacock. First class, but good appreciation there from Tony Thorpe to his fellow striker. Peacock, who didn't score the other evening, Lee Matthews taking all the glory.
Reeves for Swindon, back to Davis. Closed down by two, but a little bit of a shirt tug there on the Swindon defender. Free kick which will signal the arrival of the troops from the back, the likes of Hayward, Willis and Reeves making their way forward. Will any of that work on the training ground pay off? Delivery with pace, and Coles did well to get there ahead of Reeves.
Super delivery, great delivery there. Coming in with the left foot. Young Danny Coles just gets up and clears it. Big Hayward was on his shoulder. Good defensive header from the free kick there.
Yes, if any indication was needed as to why Danny Coles has kept his place in the Bristol City side of late, that was it. Great defensive work. More to be done though as the corner is played in. It's a deep one, looking for Hayward. Didn't really get any kind of meaningful touch on it, but it's picked up far side by Invincible. The Australian losing out. He's a player who is much coveted. Blackpool were trying to coax him away from the county ground earlier this week. Swindon turned down a £200,000 bid though. Decent atmosphere inside the ground. Swindon's best home game of the season so far against Brighton. I would think the attendance here is pushing that. Certainly plenty have made the journey, just a few stops along the M4 from Bristol. Flag up far side, free kick goes Bristol City's way, although Thorpe was protesting that with the ball at his feet, maybe advantage might have been an option.
Opportunity now, Brian Tinian. Nicky Bell's going across. Both got great feet here. Is the signal.
Bell looking for Coles, who got away at the far side, but he was a little off balance and unable to make any kind of attempt at nodding the ball back across goal.
Well, defending 1 minute, attacking the next there, Phil. He's getting himself into a forward position. Just muttering to himself there that he didn't get the clean jump he wanted to get.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you play these days, you've got to be fit. Andy King just taking it easy, but he's got his notepad there, so I'm sure he's getting ready to formulate a match-winning half-time team talk, perhaps in 35 minutes or so's time.
First time
he's watching his team on the back foot just a little.
First time we've seen Aaron Brown there, haven't we? Trying to get a corner, takes a throw in instead.
It's a bit of a hospital pass back from Bell.
No distance away from the throw-in, enabled the defender there to come in and make a defensive tackle.
This is Tinian, expect him to pull the strings now. They've got Brown in a good advanced position. Hayward very nearly turned it past his own goalkeeper. I'm sure it was heart in the mouth just for a moment there for the big defender.
Just seemed to catch him on the thigh there, the underneath of the thigh. Malcolm Crosby on the touchline there, just indicating everybody just to settle down a little bit. Don't rush everything, nice and calm.
Certainly Bristol City pressing. This is Peacock. Reeves with the block, took all the sting out of the shot. Lee Peacock looking to add to his tally of 10 for the season so far.
Well, that was the Route 1 ball, that was, from Nanny Coles. He spun them all round, made them face their own goal, and gave the Swindon back through a few problems.
Manqua's header clear. Full touch on by Saban. Again, Manqua in charge for Bristol City, and he's a very difficult man to get round in a situation like that. Very strong young lad.
Great future in front of him, Phil. I've no doubt about that. Just hope the lad stays clear of injuries.
Yes, he's an ex-England youth international, Manqua. Who knows how far he could go in the game. Certainly appears to have a pretty big future. Tinian with a foot in. Burnell onto that man, Manqua, far side. Robinson trying to close him down. Thorpe and Murray on a different wavelength.
Can't make a pass every time. That time he anticipated Murray standing still. Murray moved inside. Ball went to the spot where he was standing.
Just wonder how long it'll take Saban and Foley to gel up front for Swindon. It's sometimes difficult when you introduce a player who probably had maybe one, possibly two training sessions with them, and you ask them to come into a big game and form a partnership up front as an ex-striker yourself, Bob. It doesn't always happen overnight.
No, it doesn't, but you have to have the service, Phil. That's the most vital ingredients out there, and the only aspect of that we've seen coming down the left-hand side for Swindon. Nothing at all down the right-hand side so far. And if you're Foley, you're going to battle, you've got to look for the knockdowns, and there's been accused of fouling on Bristol City player.
Thorpe going against Reeves. Apologies for one or two technical problems on the pictures there. I think we're back in full colour and full vision again now. This is Hill for Bristol City. Peacock back to goal. No elevation from Matt Hill, easily cut out by Reeves. Now Swindon trying to get themselves moving forward. Saban takes a tumble. Referee with arms outstretched saw nothing wrong.
I just felt there was a free kick there as Saban came towards the ball. He just seemed to be tugged off it, but referee ready on the spot and give the advantage there to Swindon.
This time the free kick has gone Swindon's way. Late challenge on McAreevy.
McAreevy having a word with him. Burnell just left his foot in. Players don't like that. Feel they, if you're going to tackle fairly, but he did leave his ankle in. There he goes, just a little bit late.
More over-exuberance than malice in the challenge, but could have been nasty. This is Robinson. Well, yet to score for Swindon Town this season. He got a couple of crackers, I remember, in one game away at Oxford last year, but not quite got the range there.
Looks like a little choir boy, doesn't he? He's very slight in midfield there. Ball just comes across him and he just can't get over the top of it.
I tell you what, Bob, some of his tackles aren't like a little choir boy, I can tell you. He's a pretty combative figure in that central midfield area for Swindon.
Well, we haven't seen much of Scott Murray. We boosted him up before the game, but he hasn't received any service, and I'm sure that Swindon are well aware of that, to eliminate the balls to him.
Saban to Makarivi. Had to take it at stretch, and attack lost a bit of impetus, but it's gaining again now with Davis's ball in, although Phillips always had the aerial advantage over Invincible, and he's wasted no time in getting Bristol City moving forward. Careless pass though by Mickey Bell. Puts the home side back in possession. Bell quickly atoning for the error. It's one thing about this Bristol City side, they do work very hard for each other. There's a certain ethic that's been instilled by Danny Wilson. Some good individuals in the side, but they do play as a team. That's one of their great strengths.
Attacking play down the left-hand side there. Tony Thorpe just drifted out. We've seen him earlier on in the game getting that ball in for Lee Peacock there. This time attempting another to cross in. It's been deflected behind for a corner. Delivery, the most important aspect of this.
It's the usual jostle for position in the middle as the ball comes over. Peacock taking a ride on the back of Alan Reeves. Lee Peacock's got a very good goals ratio this season for Bristol City. I was looking, he's only actually started 15 times so far, so 10 goals in 15 starts is not bad going for a front man.
No, I'll be quite pleased with that, but you always want more when you're a centre forward. Danny Wilson there remaining very relaxed. Enjoy standing up.
He never gives away much during the game, Danny. He's not one of these managers, the Barry Fry types, who are up and down the touchline gesticulating. He tends to take a very detached view of it, which I'm sure is to his advantage and probably his team's as well. Now perhaps an opportunity for Saban here, trying to use his strength to muscle his way around Hill, but the free kick's gone against him.
Big lad, got a little bit of pace, likes to drop short, get the ball to feet. So just handling Matthew Hill off. He's using his arms, pulling him out of the way. Good decision by referee Rennie.
Although I was saying at the start of the game that Bristol City are well ahead in overall wins in this fixture, they haven't won on their last 3 visits to the county ground. You have to go back to 1995 to find the last time they triumphed. That was a 3-0 win here against Swindon. And certainly last season, Swindon, having got a draw here, won at Ashton Gate, so they had the better of those 2 games. That's worked nicely for Thorpe, who tried to just place it in at the far side. Grimmick, good feet, and then a firm hand to turn it away.
He's got great feet, he really, really has. He hasn't got explosive pace, but he knows where the ball is. And ball gets to him, just leans back. Look, he knows he's going to lean back. It's a lovely delivery, great save.
Quickly in, free header, 1-0 Bristol City, and Matt Hill, one of the men we picked out at the start, has scored perhaps an unlikely goal, his first ever for the club. Approaching 100 appearances, and just like Lewis Carey, who didn't score for ages, he's finally underway in the goals column.
Great effort there for Bristol. They took the quick corner. Ball's knocked back. Brian Chignon sets it back up again. Aaron Brown whips a great ball in, and there is nobody within yards of him. Yards. Gets a free header. Just nestles in the corner of the net there. And look at the elation. And if I'm not mistaken, I think his wife gave birth to a little baby this week. So what a great week it is for Matthew Hill.
Yes, moments don't come much better than that for a player like Matt Hill. Well, we said Danny Wilson had placed a lot of faith in him. He's certainly repaid it and some. And now the onus very much on Swindon Town to plot a way back into this game. Offside flag up against Foley, who's had precious little opportunity to show what he can do.
Well, as we said earlier on, they required a service, and that ball in there from Aaron Brown was a great delivery. Supporters over to our right-hand side now feel perhaps enjoying this moment, not missing the roast beef too much at this moment.
It's ironic that we were talking before kick-off, Bobby, off camera, albeit, about some of the Premiership goals yesterday and some of the woeful marking on one or two of those, and hey presto, the same happens here this afternoon.
Yeah, I went down to see Ipswich play Tottenham, and Tottenham didn't mark at all. I think they were a little bit closer than that now, I've got to say that, because Matt Hill was stood just in acres of space. Have to go back to the flip chart. Al Crosby, Andy King, Ruddock. Identify who was nominated to mark Matthew Hill. From what we could see, it was the invisible man.
As again, I mentioned at the start, he's only 5 feet 8 inches tall, but you didn't have to be too tall to win that particular header. There was nobody around him at all. But he took it well. City lead. Reeves. Just got a nudge in the back. Referee played on, and it could be to Swindon's advantage here with Saban, but quite the room for him to get a meaningful ball into the 18-yard box. And here come Bristol City. They do counter well. They've got pace with the likes of Murray and Brown here.
It was a choir boy tackling, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Straight from the choir stalls out into the middle.
Somebody enjoying the game there. Nicky Bell playing with a smile on his face. That's nice to see. Tony Thorpe once again in the danger area, and let's not forget the part he played in that goal with the attempt on goal, shaping his body right and his feet right, and then the corner was whipped over.
And here's the man who put the ball over, Aaron Brown, trying to make space. To settle for a throw this time, but he's a much improved player as well, Brown.
Referee Rennie just saying you brought that down with your arms as Lee Peacock tried to bring it down. He just got his arms in too close and just ran down the funnel, really.
And the expression hasn't changed much despite the scoreline in his favour.
I'd like to know what they all write down here.
Lottery numbers for next week.
I haven't got the right selection in the last 10 years, I can tell you that. Noel Crosby there. Neil Ruddock having a smile. I hope she's not smiling like that at the end of the game, if they get him beat.
Peacock rising above Hayward. Reeves got there just ahead of Thorpe. Across the back line to Willis. Swindon can't afford to dally on the ball, especially at the back there.
You see, what happens, Phil, is they try to keep possession, but Bristol City are pressing very, very high up the pitch. They come out and they squeeze them up. And Danny Wilson's on the far side then saying to the back three, if midfield squeezes up, you've got to push up. And then that doesn't enable Swindon to get into any passing sequence, and then the crowd get a little bit frustrated.
Swindon really haven't got into it. Much the visitors calling the tune. And ahead thanks to Matt Hill's goal. Invincible for Swindon. He's been a peripheral figure so far. They need to see him on the ball in areas like this. That may yet break favourably for Saban. Well, out of nothing, they very nearly had an equaliser.
He's lively. He made a great run off the ball. It ricocheted to him. He's turned, hit it with his left foot there. A little bit unfortunate.
I think that's just shaved the post, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's just shaved the post. But what we could actually see here was the run off the ball that he made. As Invincible made ground, he made a great split run. Unfortunately, it wasn't delivered to him, but he got the rebound and a good effort there. That's the first time, as you said, that we've seen Invincible. For me, I don't think he's a wing-back, and that's the role they're asking him to play there. For me, he's more of a natural up-front man, either wide right or playing through the middle.
And certainly more of the same as far as Swindon Town are concerned. Would do nicely. They certainly need the likes of Invincible in the game to provide chances for those ahead, Foley and Saban.
And how he feels now. frustrated as a player at
I'm
times.
sure he'd love to be playing rather than sat there.
Oh, yeah.
Saban tumbled. Free kick from hero to villain for Matt Hill.
Challenging the linesman there, asking him what he did wrong, but as we saw, the free kick made a decision. Big boys have gone up, played short.
David Duke for Swindon. Not the ideal angle from which to deliver, but Swindon do have a corner now. And perhaps an opportunity to really put some pressure on that Bristol City goal. Hayward will stay up there, certainly.
6'4", 6'5", isn't he? Big Matt Hayward came from Burnley.
Yes, he's got a couple of goals for him already this season as well. Certainly one to watch from set pieces, all the way through to invincible. Bristol City player slipped in the penalty box, didn't cost them, and now the break is on. 2-on-2. Oh, Scott Murray over-hit the ball, thought we'll keep it in. There really was a good opportunity there if he could have picked out the right pass. It's a shame as far as Bristol City were concerned. They really could have caught Swindon cold. Now Saban against Amankwa, that is some contest. It's a real heavyweight battle between those two. Good stuff. Saban again with Amankwa breathing down his neck. Robinson prevented from getting to the byline. Finds Davis. A sweet left foot on him if he can make room for the cross.
It's come alive, Phil. It really has come alive.
Yes, the goal was just what the doctor ordered in that sense.
See, referee Rennie there, he made a great run from the last counter-attack. He got from one penalty box to the other. Full marks to him, great run.
It's a prodigious leap in the middle. Robinson shaping for the shot, it was Hill who blocked it. Robinson now looking to act as provider, and once again it's Matt Hill who's getting through an immense amount of work for Bristol City.
What they do well, Phil, they close the ball down, they just see the ball and they're out. Oh, they're out the traps, they're really into it, and having scored a goal there for his team, his first goal, he doesn't want to see one conceded at the other end. Very, very good defending from Matthew Hill.
Duke, who possesses a useful long throw. Just about getting it into the business area. Reeves. Well, that's why he's a centre-back rather than a centre-forward like his twin brother, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I think if his twin brother sees that shot, he'll say, hey, pal, you should be out on the training ground shooting like that with your left foot. But, concerted effort there, and Andy Gray with his cigar just writing down a few notes there. It looks as though he's got a page full already. But he'll be more pleased with what he's just seen there, and I think the loyal Swindon supporters will enjoy that period as well.
It's just signs that they do have the ammunition to pose Bristol City a problem or two this afternoon. Steve Phillips in the City goal. He's really had a save to make so far, although Saban had him scurrying across his goal with a shot that just grazed the far upright. Certainly most of the pressure and the best chances really have come Bristol City's way so far.
It's always the way, you know, you go 1-0 up and you think, OK, can we dictate the game? And then all of a sudden the other team realise they've got to put the foot on the accelerator a little bit more. And team that's leading 1-0 end up having to just defend a little bit more. Scrappy play there.
Invincible, quickly tagged by Brian Tinian in midfield. Reeves, long ball forward, Foley just caught offside. Only fractions in it, but the right decision. Foley, a player who was recommended by Niall Quinn, so fan in a high place, the Sunderland striker, big tall man himself, another Republic of Ireland international. And Foley will have to use his height here to get back and defend this free kick.
Swindon taking everybody back.
whips it in again. It's Hayward who gets there ahead of Coles. Certainly the younger lads in this Bristol City side, the likes of Burnell there, as you say, Bobby, they really do close down the ball quickly, and there's no time at all for the Swindon players to dwell on it.
Call it hustling in the professional aspect, and they hustle and they work, and as you rightly said earlier on in commentary, there is a work ethic, and Bristol City know how vital the possibility of 3 points here could take them.
Must be quite nice for the likes of Brian Tinian, not to say that he doesn't get through his fair share of work, but in a sense he can have the younger lads doing the work around him, and he can take up intelligent positions and pull the strings.
Yes, he's been a great professional for Bristol City.
Free kick now for Swindon. And they're looking for Reeves, but it's Hill who heads away, and Brown again looking to launch a quick counter. There's just one thought in his mind as he picks the ball up, and that's to run at this defence.
Oh, offside there.
For offside, which was finally given, but it's a close one.
Yeah, linesman on the far side was tracking the play, watching Aaron Brown attacking the back duo of Swindon, and Tony Thorpe just made his run too early. And offside there. Acknowledging that Aaron Brown there nearly got it through to him.
It would surely have spelt danger for Swindon if Thorpe had been through one-on-one on the goalkeeper. That's a situation he thrives in. Here's his strike partner Lee Peacock now. Testing Willis for speed. And the former Coventry defender with an extra gear to move into.
Good battle there. Honest, both players.
Peacock picks out Tinian. Burnell makes himself available, and Manquar goes on the overlap. Murray providing even more width now.
They've really nullified Murray down that right-hand side. Davis, the young lad's done a super job. But I think he gives compliment to all his other teammates who have worked hard to stop the threat of Murray.
Well, Thorpe's hands went up in submission immediately. He was clearly going for the ball, but I'm sure he did just catch Adam Willis in the face.
I think it's a foul throw-in the end, but both players there having a discussion on camera, acknowledging that he put his head down, and nice to see both players do that. Referee comes over, it takes the heat out of the game, and the supporters know that it wasn't any real intention there. There he goes, just puts his head down, doesn't catch him fully, but
nice to see it ended all smiles. It's the kind of incident, albeit accidental, that could provide a flashpoint, especially in a local derby. The players quickly getting on with the business of playing football, and here is a Manquar. Laid off to Brown. Very quickly to his man. Willis now for Swindon. Once again, the tackle came in quickly. Willis in following through on Tinian. Looks like he's going to get the first caution of the afternoon. Perhaps a little unlucky there, I think, Bob. I don't know.
well, I would have said so. I just think you've had the incident down here before with Thorpe. He's lost the ball, he's made the lunge, he hasn't made contact, but the referees interpret that with intent. With the intention, then he says that's a yellow card.
Well, Adam Willis only making his sixth start of the season. He's a kind of fill-in player for Swindon Town. He'll have to tread carefully now. Peacock leaping high, Grimmink able to collect comfortably.
When that spell, Phil, when it looks to be coming alive, and now the team's just dropped down a level or two. They haven't kept their foot on the accelerator. Swindon, if they're going to try and get back in the game before half-time, they've got to make sure they get the ball in the attacking third a little bit more.
They're trying to do that just now with Sol Davis. Look at Tony Thorpe back there, working hard. Reeves, little flick header on. This is Foley, did well. Robinson. Vincent, although just drifted infield, so there wasn't too much natural width on this right-hand side. It's with David Duke now against the goalscorer Hill. Robinson thought about delivering first time and then thought again. Duke finally does put the crossover too deep. Swindon still not firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, there wasn't a fluency in that movement there. There were players who were just a little bit static. It got set back, it didn't get delivered, and then they'd come in from another angle and they couldn't get enough whip on the ball to get it closer to the goal. But at least it was ball retention. Yellow card from that young man for that lunge just previously. Referee Rennie was with the top boys a few seasons ago and now in the nationwide, and I think he's just trying to find his feet again and would like to get back into the top echelons of the referees list.
Swindon certainly won't want any disciplinary problems this afternoon. They've had 6 red cards already this season. You may remember that David Duke got one in the televised game against Cardiff early this season, and here at home on Boxing Day they had 2 sent off in one match, which is why Messrs Grazioli and Gurney are playing no part this afternoon, because they're suspended. So Swindon need to just clean up their image a little. Invincible took it well under pressure. Still the home side yet to really get going. Burnell for Bristol City. Thorpe trying to angle a pass down the line for Murray. Davis, as you'd expect, is sticking to him like glue. It's a really good battle between those two, and so far the young man there is probably coming out on top.
He's definitely out on front for me on points. He's gone about his task in a great manner. Young lad who's enjoying the task of playing against one of the top players in the league in Division 2. Technically good on the ball, quite prepared to control it, do a few twists and turns, and delivers a good ball through the front man as well. Keep it going.
Murray certainly a handful for most defenders, but so far so good for Sol Davis against him. Burnell working hard to keep possession for his side, albeit that they've had to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. So they'll be quite happy to just keep possession and take any sting out of Swindon Town, leading as they are by a 1-0 still. Invincible for Swindon. A little touch from Robinson. That's better from the home side. A bit more purpose, at least there was, until that pass from Robinson went astray.
It's that final ball, Phil. It's just not getting to the feet or into the space of a Swindon player when they're running forward, and then it all comes to an end, and the frustration of the crowd can be heard, and disappointments of the players can be seen.
The difference between the two sides, as I see it, is there's not quite the almost instinctiveness about Swindon that there is about City. City just pop off their passes knowing that someone's there or going to be making the runs. Swindon almost get possession and then look for who's going to do something before it happens, and as a result there's not the pace about them that there is about Bristol City.
No, and I think that goes down to having played together as a team and as a squad. You know, you asked about Foley early on, you know, about settling in, and that's what happens. And players need to understand when people are going to make runs and the delivery, what technical ability they have, which is their good fit, and what is their strength. And that hasn't been forthcoming with the Swindon team this afternoon.
Of course, I suppose there's the added factor of the confidence that comes from riding high in the table and winning matches, which Bristol City have done more of than Swindon Town so far this season. Peacock, little layoff to Burnell. McAreevy in sharply. Mr. Rennie wants another word. I think he's... No. Well, certainly some of the Swindon fans didn't agree with that. McAreevy clearly didn't. I don't think Bobby Gould was in favour either.
No. He's just kicked at the ball. He's not kicked at the lad whatsoever. Mr. Rennie, big mistake. Been praising you up till then. But, gone down in my estimation there.
Continuing with the resulting free kick, but it's back to the drawing board for that one.
Didn't like that one. There's the young man still saying to the referee, I never touched him. How could you see that as a free kick? Be interested if they took that one to the tribunal, whether they'd nullify it.
Manquar. Burnell forward, Thorpe caught offside.
Well, we've gone back into slumberland, haven't we? You know, 5-3 Sunday afternoon. Not an exciting start to the game, then all of a sudden Bristol City got in front. Swindon started to counter-attack, a few efforts in goal, but since then the game has gone back into that little bit of a lull.
Goal kick to Bristol City. Yes, it was round about this time in midweek that Bristol City got a second goal in their derby clash against Bristol Rovers, which virtually killed the game, so they'll be looking to do the same. Swindon, for their part, would love a reply before half-time.
He's impressed me, Phil, that Sabin. I like him. He's
certainly a handful.
Might be second division in France, but he's come here, and from what I've seen in these 42, 43 minutes, I like it.
Peacock. Grimink. Needed quick feet there. The first touch was just a shade heavy, but he got himself out of jail. And here is Saban, cutting in from the right touchline. Invincible, away from Tinian. Little slide rule pass forward, very nearly found its target. Positive goalkeeping, though, from Steve Phillips. One number 14 thwarting another.
That ball there is just played down the line, not enough pace. Peacock wants it a little bit more. You can see him indicating to Mickey Bell, put a little bit more pace on it, but Alan Willis's poor control enables Bristol City to get up in that attacking third, see if they can create something from this throw-in.
Bell chipping it up. Reeves with the defensive header. It's neatly done by Robinson. Appeals for handball against Brown, but the verdict is just a throw for Swindon.
I wonder which is his favourite hymn. He's played well this afternoon for me, young Robinson. He's just anchors in midfield, tries to keep it very simple.
Certainly the most experienced man of that trio centrally for Swindon. McAreevy and Duke had as many games as Steve Robinson has. And of course, missing Matt Hewlett in that area are Swindon, former Bristol City player, and another of their Bristol-born men, Andy Gurney, also missing today. Rovers man suspended. Saban far side, denied by the flag. Certainly of the two Swindon strikers, we've seen more of Saban than we have of Dominic Foley.
Just got to get himself into another gear, Foley. He's just strolling about for me at the moment. Not a lot of enthusiasm out there. We've been in the reserves all season and get the opportunity to come and play first-team football. I'd like to see a little bit more exercising of effort, I would say, on Foley's behalf.
Tony Thorpe. Oh, still going Thorpe as the Swindon defence left it to each other. Unfortunately, the goalkeeper was alive. That is where Tony Thorpe is so dangerous.
He's a predator, Phil. He knows where the danger area is. He knows when the opportunity might just come for him if he puts extra pressure on, and he was a little bit unfortunate then as he carried his run on.
So he can almost smell danger, Tony Thorpe.
We call them sniffers. You can sniff them out.
It's one of those, I mean, if you chase 10 of those, you know, a season, probably 9 of them, nothing will happen. But if the one of them you're on the end of and you get a goal out of nothing, then it makes the other 9 worthwhile.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
It's playing stoppage time now at the end of the first 45. Bristol City, I'm sure, will be happier with the state of the game than will Swindon at the moment. This is Davis. Constable just took a knock there. Seems to be limping a little after that challenge with Mickey Bell. Swindon will hope he doesn't have a problem. Foley. To drop deeper and deeper to try and get involved for Swindon Town. Saban. Oh, he's quick. That is the end of the first half action. It's gone Bristol City's way so far. They had the advantage of an early goal headed in by number 18, Matt Hill, his first ever goal in a Bristol City shirt. And that's the goal that just gives them the lead at half-time. It's Swindon Town 0, Bristol City 1, and we can get an instant reaction on the first 45 minutes. Down in the tunnel area, it's Nigel Turner.
And with me, I've got Malcolm Crosby, Swindon assistant manager. You haven't ever got quite motoring, have you yet?
No, we've looked quite nervous first half, and our reactions all around the park need to be a little bit quicker second half.
And the goal, he had just far too much space, didn't he?
Yeah, we've let him have a free run at goal, and we've been caught by the short corner. Like I've said, we have to react a bit quicker to situations on the pitch.
But still scope to improve?
Oh, a lot more scope, yeah. I'm sure we will improve second half.
OK, Malcolm, I'll let you get into the dressing room. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. So, Malcolm Crosby there. Swindon Town trail by a goal to 0. Bristol City will be well pleased. Plenty more action to come up in the second half. You can see it all live after the break.
Soccer Sunday with Nationwide. Football matters.
Naughty, naughty. Some of you haven't filled in your tax return yet. Get it in by January 31st. You don't want to be fined, so you'll fill it in. You will. Oh, yes, you will. You will, 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 you will.
At the MFI sale, you can save up to 50% on a kitchen and choose an appliance half-sale price, so make it yours.
Oh, don't worry, they will.
The residents here are many and varied.
A flask of wine, a book of verse.
They're poets and paupers and priests. They're rock stars, film stars. They're street cleaners and street walkers. They're politicians and princes. But they're all one thing. They're jealous.
Hello. When you want a personal loan, you can just go to your bank. But why not see if it's easier, faster and cheaper to call Lombard Direct on 0800 2 15,000.
Your rate is based on your circumstances and loan amount. Our typical rate is just 8.2% APR.
For an unsecured personal loan of up to £25,000, call Lombard Direct on 0800 2 15,000 or apply online.
New Calgon Gel. Its unique gel formula dissolves fast to beat limescale, protecting your machine from breakdown.
Washing machines live longer with Calgon.
Two tomato and vegetable, please.
There's a time and a place for a cup of soup. This is not it.
She isn't getting enough. They aren't getting enough. And this lot certainly aren't getting enough. In fact, scientists increasingly believe that up to 90% of us aren't getting enough whole grain, which is important because it could help keep your heart healthy. Most cereals aren't whole grain, but shredded wheat, Shreddies and Cheerios are. So think about your heart and make sure you're getting enough whole grain.
Come to life. Come to Butlins. Call 0800 222 555.
Soccer Sunday live with Nationwide. Football matters.
Welcome back. So half-time in our big game today, and the score: Swindon Town 0, Bristol City 1. With me is Mark Walters. Mark, I think City deserving that lead, aren't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, they've been on the offensive for the majority of that first half. Swindon have basically been on the back foot. Although they've curtailed their wing-backs a lot, I think they've got a lot more offensively going for them than Swindon have.
What's impressed you most of all about City's first half performance?
Well, mainly the defending, funny enough, is the defenders defend very astutely. Tinian is taking the position of Doherty today, but he's not only is he protecting the back three, but he's creating a few things, starting off some of the attacks, and they just look very competent and very astute going forward.
Now, there was a problem for City last week with defending against Wigan. They were 2-0 up in that game, and they brought on this guy, DeVos, did Wigan, big centre defender. And they had trouble defending against that. They got the crosses in. Now, we saw right at the beginning of the game, it looked like Swindon were going to use that kind of tactic to get at City today. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. I think they are susceptible to crosses, particularly from good positions. Unfortunately, from Swindon's point of view, they haven't been able to get in a position to make a lot of those crosses. But they are definitely have problems from cross balls, and Saban has looked very lively. And if they can get balls into him, then maybe they can cause him a few more problems.
Well, something you were going to work on, wasn't it, Rovers, on Wednesday night, getting the ball into the box?
Absolutely, yeah. We were told that they have problems defending crosses from wide positions. Unfortunately for us that day, we didn't really get in positions to make the best of that. But yeah, that is a problem they have. Fortunately for them, they haven't been done on it so far. So hopefully for Swindon, they can get in better positions and maybe go against that.
Now, City's first real chance was almost an own goal. I think Hayward nearly put it past his own goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think it was quite fortuitous. Yeah, I think he's got the ball struck. He just tried to clear it, and luckily for him, it bounced up, and the goalie in the right place for Swindon's point of view. But to be honest with you, they need to definitely get in more forward positions, particularly Invincible. He's playing up very deep at the moment, and really it's very difficult for him to get in any crossing position. Unfortunately, Foley too, he's found it very difficult as well to get in the game. I know he's only joined the club on Friday, so he maybe doesn't know his teammates very well, but he definitely needs to get in the game more, and hopefully he can get on it.
Yeah, it's been disappointing for Swindon because scoring goals has been a problem for them a little bit this season, and they don't really look like getting one so far this game. Yeah,
I have to agree with you. Yeah, they're definitely on the back foot today. Maybe they're going to have to be slightly more direct and cause a few more problems with Bristol's back three. But they're definitely not getting around the sides of him and not getting behind at all, and they're not causing any problems at all, really.
City have caused problems and have got that goal, and it came just after a very good save as well by Bart Grimmink.
Yeah, the forward done well. I think just curled the ball towards the far post there. Great save from the keeper, and they had a little bit of pressure from that. And the lad Hill took his goal well, made a great run into the box. A bad goal from Swindon's point of view. No one picked him up, and he was able to place a simple header into the corner of the goal.
Yeah, it was pretty awful, ordinary defending by Swindon Town. He had far too much space, as we heard Nigel say to Malcolm Crosby there.
Yeah, without a doubt, it was a bad goal to concede. I think he had a free run into the box. No one picked him up, and in the end, he just had to hit the target. A simple goal.
Now, I said Swindon haven't created that much, but they almost got an equaliser. Saban mighty close.
Yeah, definitely. He made a good run actually to collect the ball. I think the ball got deflected onto him. The guy's going in, makes a good run. Unfortunately, no one's seen him. He gets the ball in, a sort of flash shot, strikes the side of the post there. Quite unlucky, but he's looked quite lively. He's, if anybody, he's looked the one most likely to score, and he's caused them a few problems here and there. But if they're going to... Sorry.
Foley's been a little bit disappointing though up front, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. To be fair to him, he's only been there a couple of days, so maybe doesn't know his teammates very well. But if he wants to get into the game, he's going to have to work a lot harder, I think, definitely.
So we gave our predictions at the start of the game. Now we're both still on from, I suppose. I said City 2-1, you said Swindon 2-1, so it still could go either way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Swindon can't play any worse, I think, than that first half anyway. They definitely need to be more creative, be more inventive, definitely in the last third anyway. So, you know, I think they're definitely going to improve on that performance, I think. You know, Bristol City might rest on their laurels slightly, so my prediction could come true after all.
What kind of money did we lay on this bet, by the way, at the start? Was it 50 quid?
Well, as you had all the money, I think it was your 50 quid, yeah. I didn't put any on.
All right, thanks very much for now, Mark. We will be back with more from Mark and, of course, more reaction from the ground and all the second half live and exclusive here to come after this break.
Soccer Sunday live with Nationwide. Football matters.
%50 off frames in the Vision Express sale. Vision Express. Experts with vision.
With the amazing deals at Going Places, there's never been a better time to book a holiday. Like 20,000 half-price holidays, 200,000 free child places, and 10,000 sun deals for £99 a week.
Hey, she's right, you know. Those deals are so good, they even got me going.
Going Places. Deals to really get you going.
Do you want to see me white bits?
As I went down to the valley to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, sisters, let's go down, down in the valley to pray.
It's not what you want. It's what you want to keep that makes insurance important. Together we're stronger. Norwich Union.
Football. Funny old game when you've moved around as much as I have. Thankfully, Rightmove has thousands of properties nationally, so I finally found a place to put down roots.
Ian, about your retirement.
Good job is continually updated.
Do the right thing. Rightmove.co.uk.
This is my stag night. I shall be acting like a stag.
Men behaving badly this weekend on UK Gold.
When you've got a big day ahead, the last thing you need is constipation. All bloated and sluggish. Like a lot of people, I take Senecot. It's made from natural senna. Just one dose at night works in harmony with your body for gentle, predictable relief when you wake. Ready? You bet. Go on, enjoy your day.
Senecot. Natural relief for a brighter tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Toby, and this is Charlie. Danone Active is great when I'm thirsty. Fantastic. Mum says calcium is good for my bones. As for Charlie, he hasn't got any.
Danone Active. Refreshingly good for you.
20,000 half-price holidays at Going Places.
Feel the heat of the Seat Leon.
Soccer Sunday live with Nationwide. Football matters.
So almost the end of the half-time interval. It is, of course, Swindon Town 0, Bristol City 1. Mark will be back. We'll be talking about the second half. Plus, we'll take a look at Rovers after the second half action. But with no further ado, let's get back to the county ground and rejoin our commentators, who are Bobby Gould and Phil Duffel.
Yes, thanks very much, Jed. Welcome back to the county ground. I can tell you that Swindon are already out on the field, eager to make amends, really, to try and improve on that first half show. The Bristol City fans there still awaiting the arrival of their particular gladiators. City maybe just lingering in the dressing room a little longer to savour that first half performance that sees them a 1-0 up. Bobby Gould alongside me. I suppose Andy King's had the harder job at half-time. Here comes City. What do you think the respective managers may have said?
Well, I just feel that Swindon were a little bit lacklustre in that half. A lot of inexperience in the team, especially in midfield. Robinson has set his stall out now. The other two lads, Duke and McInerney, have got to make sure they get involved. And then going forward, Invincible for me looks a little bit lost in that wing-back position. Sabin did all right. I thought Foley was poor. He's got to get out the trap. He's got to come out flying a little bit quicker. But in saying that, they have to deliver the ball into the penalty area. If they don't do that, you know, they're going to be very lucky if they can score from outside the box, because of the way Bristol City closed down. They hustle and they're going to protect that lead. They gave it away very costly against Wigan last week at home. Now 1-0 up away from home. They want to make sure they take 3 points all the way down the M4.
Okay, ready to go at the start of the second half. Bristol City, remember, in change colours of green, getting us underway. And looking to maintain a fine record against West Country teams this season. They've already beaten Swindon at home in the league. They've beaten Cheltenham in the Worthington Cup. And, of course, they've beaten Rovers in the LDV. So they seem to have the Indian sign over their near neighbours at the moment. Will the pattern continue in this second half? I think we can go pitch side, where our man Nigel Turner has Paul Bodin alongside him.
Yes, thanks Phil, down here on the touchline. Paul Bodin, ex-Swindon player. Your quick impressions of what Swindon have to do in the second half?
Well, it was a little bit too scrappy really first half, and Bristol City dominated most of the possession. But Swindon need to attack more. They need to get wider, get down the bylines and get some good service into the strikers.
Well, Danny Wilson will be more than happy with his first half, won't he?
Well, absolutely. I mean, they look a team who are playing full of confidence, whereas Swindon are at the wrong end of the table. They need a goal early and get themselves right back in the game.
Paul, thanks very much indeed. Back to you, Phil.
Yes, thanks very much, chaps. I'm sure Swindon wouldn't mind turning the clock back and having a young Paul Bodin out there to perhaps just give them a bit of extra width down the flanks. Bodin, of course, very good at getting forward, scored some very useful goals for Swindon Town in his time, and it's goals that they've found hard to come by of late. I notice they've just got 14 at home all season, and only the bottom club, Northampton, seem to be more shot shy at home. So Swindon Town somehow need to find the way to goal, because if they don't register in this second 45, then they're heading for defeat. Robinson with a very good ball to release Saban. Now here is a chance for the home side. The Frenchman's hit it straight at the keeper, and he looks skywards in disgust. And that really was a fine chance to hit back right at the beginning of the second half for Swindon. I wonder if they'll live to regret that chance.
Well, Sabin got down right-hand side. Here's the ball now, advancing on goal. And it's neither a shot nor a cross, really. He's not done anything with it. For me, he had Foley coming on the back post, and if he'd have been well aware, he could either slid it across the face of the goal, or if he was going to shoot then, he should have hit it with a lot more venom than he put into that effort.
Certainly no real conviction in the shot. It all comes back to that word confidence, I suppose. When the ball's flying in, you just hit those without thinking about it almost, whereas Saban there perhaps changed his mind once, twice, who knows how many times before almost passing it back to the goalkeeper, it seemed. At least Swindon created the opening, and in that there is cause for optimism for the home fans. Still no sign of Andy King down on the bench. It's Messrs Crosby and Ruddock in charge down at ground level. Andy King prefers the view from on high. He feels you get a better all-round indication of what's going on from a higher position in the stand, but I'm sure at some stage he'll be making his way down to the dugout and making one or two Swindon players aware of what he wants in terms of extra effort in this second half. David Duke, who is one of King's first signings, followed him down from Sunderland. Just drying off the ball to try and launch another long throw in the direction of Haywood and company. It's Peacock, in fact, who nods it behind for the first corner of the second period.
It is a threat, Phil, isn't it? You know, we've got somebody with the ability to throw the ball like that. Notice how many defenders and forwards are coming back to defend the goalkeeping area, and they've created a corner from it.
What does McAreevy have up his sleeve? Well, it's Haywood who attacks it. It was very well defended. Foley's gone down in a heap, and referee Rennie will ensure he gets attention quickly, just in case it's a serious head injury. There's a real melee on that near post.
Here's the delivery. Foley. And
Haywood, his own teammate.
Yes. The ball's there to be delivered. A smile on his face. Referee's got a smile on his face, so no blood. So we go to the action.
First time we've seen a physio on the field, which is good to report in a local derby. Played in the right spirit, hard but fair so far. This is Thorpe. Ooh, and Murray had pulled away. Now that was a late challenge that time by Davis on Thorpe. Players surrounding the referee. Thorpe clutching his head. 2 head injuries in the space of a matter of minutes. Just as I was saying, the game had been played in the right spirit. Interesting to see how referee Rennie interpreted that particular incident.
Ball bounces, Murray goes, sees the attacker, foot high, very, very, very high. So misinterpretation there by the boy. Sol Davis, the left back.
Well, he won't want me to remind him, but he saw red here very early on in his Swindon career, sent off as a teenager against Bristol City back in '98. He'll be mighty relieved the colours yellow this time. Thorpe appears to be okay. The magic sponge has done its trick. More to the point, City with a free kick in a very dangerous position. The likes of Peacock, Bell, Tinian, all massing. Oh, and hello, what's happened here? Dissent shown towards the referee. Alan Reeves cannot believe it, and for the second time this season he's going to walk. Both times against Bristol City, and Uriah Rennie at the centre of controversy, and he's taking no nonsense, and he's ushering the Swindon captain away. Well, it really is a body blow.
It is, but when a player's going to learn, you know, Mr. Rennie's shown his style. You have to appreciate who's in the middle, if he's in charge. You don't take them on, because there's only one winner, and it's not going to be Mr. Reeves.
Well, there's never a dull moment with him in a City-Swindon game. He scored the winner at Ashton Gate last season and sent off in both games this season. Quite extraordinary.
Well, if that's dissent, that ball should be moved forward. It can't go into the penalty area, but it should definitely be moved forward to the edge of the box. And the referee doesn't know what he's doing at this moment in time. He's the one that's wrong.
Well, the free kick from the original position, taken by Peacock. Oh, and it's going from bad to worse for Swindon Town. Bristol City against 10 men Swindon, 2-0 up. Lee Peacock with his 11th of the season, and it's delight for the travelling supporters.
Well, he certainly knows what he's doing. Paul's put down at it. That's a great, great, great free kick. We really are seeing some excellent free kicks now. I'm sure that the lads, when they're on the training ground, they're practising and practising. And look at the eruption of their loyal supporters. The venom and the pace that travels from the moment his foot strikes the ball into the top corner. And he's really enjoyed that, because he's been under a little bit of pressure with Lee Matthews scoring the other night, and then another goal there. So comfortable now for Bristol City. and Swindon down to 10 men.
So they really are in trouble now, the home team. They desperately need inspiration from somewhere. But whether you're a Bristol City fan or even a Swindon Town fan, you have to sit back and just admire that strike from Peacock. It really was travelling.
That was a chance. We'll have a look at that again. The ball's put into a danger area. No red shirts getting in on the back of it. Mal Crosby there just trying to reorganise, reschedule players into certain positions. Looks as though they're going to go with a flat back four now. 3 in midfield and 2 up front.
Andy King only just into his second spell in charge at Swindon Town. He's unbeaten so far in a couple of games in the league, but unless this game takes a dramatic turn, he's going to be on the wrong end of the scoreline at their county ground this afternoon. Swindon down to 10, having had their captain sent off and 2 goals behind. Robinson. Ironic cheers from some Swindon fans as a decision goes their way.
Be interesting to see what the dismissal is for. Foul and abusive language is the only thing that I can interpret from this line, this distance up here in the roof of the stands.
It's the additional problem for Swindon. It'll mean another suspension coming up. And they really have been hit hard in recent weeks. They don't have the biggest squad and certainly no resources to bring in more players. So the problems are mounting. Little shirt tug there has brought a free kick for Swindon though, and at least momentary relief and perhaps a way back. Well, when you are 1 down in terms of personnel, it's set pieces in particular that you really need to make count. McAreevy to curl it in. It was an awkward one at the near post, and Manquar took responsibility ahead of his goalkeeper.
Got a pat on the back there from Brian Tinyon. Phillips, the keeper, came out for it. Was nowhere near it, the man got cleared. Quick corner.
Taken short to Robinson. Foley's in there, he was just eased out of the way. To his credit, he wasn't looking at the referee for any decision. Swindon trying to just build up a head of steam if they can. Foley! Deflection. First sight of goal, or at least half sight of goal for the new striker.
Hayward there just puts the ball in, bounces away. Ricochet off the corner then.
It's lively stuff as a Manquar heads clear from the corner. Invincible edge of the box. Brown very quickly to it.
Oh, Swindon have got to be a little bit more attack conscious now. They've got to put the ball forward. They can't just play aesthetical football. They've got to deliver the ball, make them face their own goal, Bristol City, and then hope for some rich pickings.
Perhaps a role for the home crowd to play now if they can be Swindon's 11th man. Saul Davis trying a dip from distance, more in hope than expectation, I think.
Danny Wilson there encouraging players to keep this shape, keep their responsibilities.
He's probably the calmest man in the ground. It's been a pretty hectic start to the second half, but Danny Wilson remains unflustered throughout. Manquar there ahead of McAreevy. Robinson did well to just close down his options though, and Davis trying to release Foley through the middle. Chance now for Swindon Town. Dominic Foley! They're back in the game. It's 2-1, and it really is game on now. Goal on his debut for the Republic of Ireland international. That's why Andy King was so keen to bring him here.
Well, the bang on the head might have just woken him up. Bristol City contesting the possibility of an offside. He definitely looks advanced to Matthew Hill there. Goalkeeper Phillips comes out, finds himself stranded. Technical ability of Foley there with his left foot just to guide it up very, very, very high, and it drops down the roof of the net. So we've got game on, but I think Bristol City feel it could have been a possibility of offside there, but not given.
tell you what, it's exciting stuff. You can't take your eye off this for a minute. Paul McAreevy perhaps glad of a bit of a breather here. He's struggling a little back on his feet.
Who forecast 2-1 back in the studio? I bet he's smiling.
I think they went 2-1 either way between them, so... oh dear.
Mark Walters looks as though he's losing £50 now to Jed then, is it?
It's a good job it's not the other way around, Jed. It'd never pay up. But I wouldn't bet the scoring's over yet. That's a terrific finish, isn't it? For a big man.
Really is. Shape of his left foot, he's knocked it high. And them supporters in the back there have really enjoyed that moment. They've been waiting long enough. Danny Wilson looking a little bit irate there. He was just saying a few moments earlier when he was on shot, make sure you keep your shape, make sure you keep your discipline. But they didn't heed his warning, unfortunately. But they will question the authenticity of that goal. Was it offside?
Swindon don't care about the niceties of the offside decision or not. Davis. It's Bell making tracks down the left-hand flank for City into Tinian. Combination that's worked so well for the club down the years, Tinian and Bell. Burnell.
Experienced campaigner there, Brian Tinian knows that they've just got to keep the ball for a moment, settle the game back down again, keep the ball, keep retention, don't give it away. Let the opposition come and chase it for a while until you get your composure back.
It's a point that is often made, but it's actually not always that easy to play against 10 men, because all of a sudden you've been playing a certain system and suddenly players look around and think, well, should we be changing something because we've got an extra man? And in a strange sort of way, it can sometimes work in favour of the team that's one man down, and it seems to be for Swindon so far. Now what's happening here? Duke's in quickly. Burnell irate at the nature of that challenge. And I tell you what, this requires some strong refereeing from Mr. Rennie.
Looks as though they're both smiling at the moment, so my interpretation of that would be a yellow card. Yes. Like to see the replay again. David Duke into the yellow book. Here we go. Lunge. Oh, that's a naughty one. That is a naughty one from my viewpoint there.
Well, maybe lucky to still be there, David Duke. And Joe Burnell may be lucky the damage wasn't any more serious.
That's why players wear shin pads. That was a critical one. If that had gone stud and boot to bone, it could have been a little bit more painful than it is at this moment. So a pair of shin pads there.
Well, 4 yellows and a red card accumulated so far for Swindon by my reckoning. Very nearly 3 goals accumulated for Bristol City. That was Tony Thorpe on the half-turn, where he's always dangerous. Oh, and what's happening here now? There's a bit of nonsense there involving Davis and Murray, and it just remains to be seen who saw what of that. It wasn't too far away from the assistant on that side. It's Des Morrison down there. Uriah Rennie also was in the vicinity, and perhaps they've decided it was all accidental.
Let's have a look. Steps over it, falls down, keeps it, knocks it over. Body checks him, little kick there, that's petulance. And then he's gone down, brought down. Well, Mr. Davis is very, very fortunate that he's still on a football field playing football.
I think he's lucky that the referee decided to take no action. I think it was fair that both players were treated the same, because they were certainly both at fault. But if the referee had gone for yellow cards all round, then Davis would have been off, because it would have been his second. So Swindon guilty of losing their cool, perhaps, here this afternoon.
Yeah, but we're seeing it happening all over the country, Phil. You know, we're seeing Premier League players now. Just last night, Mills of Leeds United retaliating with Craig Bellamy. And if you're playing the game of football, you know you can't step outside the laws of the game. You're going to be punished. I was enthusiastic. I was a strong player, but you've got to make sure that you play within the rules.
Tinian spreading it wide left. Brown's gone on ahead here. Duke just got half a block on for Swindon.
Substitution coming up for Bristol City here, I think. It will be Rodriguez warming up down the far flank there. Had a few words with Frank Barlow. Instructions where he is at dead ball situations.
Free kick quickly taken. Aaron Brown to bend it in. Cole's trying to make it. Well, he did so. He couldn't direct the header goalwards. Did the hard part. He was certainly under pressure though and off balance.
I tell you what, he's had his shirt tugged there. I have no shadow of a doubt there. Foley's tracked him back and he's saying to the referee, I've got a push here. Look, there's the shirt, there's the pull on the blind side of the referee.
Good spot, Bob, but corner is the best that Danny Coles and Co can hope for. And it'll be Murray to take it in, swinger to the near post. Awkward for the keeper. Grimmick needed all 6'4" and 15 stone to get through that ruck. He did well, the goalkeeper. Now with the ball out of play on the far side, I believe we can go down to our man at the touchline, Nigel Turner, with a bit of news on that sending off. Nigel.
Yeah, well, inevitably the Swindon bench is still seething. I've just had a quick word with the fourth official, Mr. Armstrong. He said he's not 100% certain, but because it was a straight red, he can only assume it was foul and abusive language.
Thanks, Nigel. Well, that's the way Bobby Gould called it from up here. Reasons, Reeves off, Swindon down to 10, but making a pretty good fist of it. And they've won a free kick now.
It's amazing when you get a situation of going down to 10 men, how the 10 men respond to the job in hand. And before they looked a little bit lacklustre to me. Now they've got a little bit more devilment about them.
So certainly playing with plenty of passion now, the team in red. Robinson. Tinian prevented it reaching invincible. This is Joe Burnell.
Good football from Bristol City here. Can they keep the momentum going?
Robinson with a neat little back heel, but Invincible is daydreaming. There just isn't time for that. Burnell, Bell, Peacock, City moving the ball quickly. Brown offside though, far side. City fans who are directly in line behind him didn't seem to think so, but they wouldn't, would they?
I don't think they're objecting that much in that far stand that we're looking down on. Aaron Brown there trying to get a bit wider from his central midfield position.
Robinson once more in that central midfield area. Really is a terrier in there for Swindon, but it's broken kindly for Bristol City and Scott Murray taking on Davis. Solid challenge by the fullback. Tinian. Brown looking for the early ball, but too much weight on it.
Goalkeeper did well there, Phil. He anticipated it and nullified the danger, and here we have the substitution.
It's Danny Wilson, the first to shuffle his pack. And it's another Danny, Portuguese player Danny Rodriguez, who's ready to come on in place of Tony Thorpe, who's maybe still just feeling that knock he took early on in the game. Rodriguez, pretty handy replacement. Back at Bristol City from Southampton. Remember, he had a spell with them a couple of seasons ago. Unfortunately, that was cut short by a broken leg. But he's back to full fitness now, back at Ashton Gate, and on to try and make a menace of himself in the closing stages of this Bristol-Swindon derby.
gone into a different position this afternoon. Phil went as a wide right player against Bristol Rovers. Now he's gone through the middle, playing off Big Peacock. I think that's his favourite position, if he was to ask the young man where he wanted to play.
First chance to get involved, but does so illegally, leaning in on Matt Hayward. Round about the midpoint now of the second half. Swindon still striving for an equaliser, and the likes of McAreevy and Robinson and co having to work really hard in midfield now. They've just about had to rip up the pre-match plans of Swindon. A pretty good fist of improvisation. Foley, score of their goal, losing out that time to Aaron Brown. David Jukes right back there helping out in defence, and it's broken kindly now for Robinson. Saban trying to run along the line. He just stepped on the accelerator a bit too soon. The Frenchman furious with himself.
Yeah, the linesman spotted that one. Did he miss the goal one though? A man could have played him offside, stood him up, just wanted to bend his run. And when we say bend his run, run into his own half a little bit more towards his own half, and then bend it so he can be onside when he receives the ball. Crowd very quiet, Phil, for me. You know, it's at that period just after half-time and then the sending off, but once again, it doesn't sense like a local derby at this moment.
No, and certainly you would feel that the onus on the home supporters really to try and spur their side on a little bit more. Of course, it's been a really difficult time for Swindon Town fans of late. All the problems behind the scenes for this club, changes of chairman, managers, boards. Very difficult to just concentrate on what's happening out there on the football field.
Paper's full of stories like that, Phil, and players read them, and it definitely has a mental effect on them, there's no doubt about that.
Away by Danny Coles. Swindon pick up the pieces once more, though. Disappointing ball there from Invincible.
Yeah, he's not looked happy this afternoon, the young man Invincible, for me. There is a lot of ability there. He's not linked up with anybody this afternoon, not played little 1-2s or given goes, and for me, I'd sooner see him through the middle with his pace. Does something different with his back to goal as well.
That remains an option if Swindon wish to change the shape at any stage. Confirm that, talking of changing shape, the Bristol City substitution, Rodriguez for Thorpe, was purely tactical. And this is Kevin Amankwa for the visitors. Tinian, neatly done to Joe Burnell. McAreevy working hard to get back to him. Good tracking back now. There's a bit of reaction between the two players there. It's all getting rather stupid. There was no need for McAreevy to retaliate there. He's a young player and he's got a bit to learn.
It's just sheer petulance, you know. I'm just bemused by the attitude of professional footballers these days. You know, it is a physical game. You have to take the physical knocks, and if somebody does something untoward with you, then don't take retribution. As Jackie Charlton used to say, put them in your little black book. Your time will come. And I think that's what Mr. Rennie's saying, just steady down, don't get carried away. Here we go. Fight, chug, bump, bump. I don't think he's meant to do that there. And the referee's understood that.
McAreevy, again having already been booked, is one of those that should be treading more carefully than most.
There's two, Phil. Davis could have gone and McAreevy could have gone there. It could be down to 8 men.
Might be five-a-side. Rodriguez has got some pace about him. That's a useful ball. It's all the way through to Lee Peacock, and Grimmick saves the day for Swindon Town. The goalkeeper out quickly, narrowed the angle. Peacock hit the target but couldn't pass the big Dutchman.
Quick corner.
In by Bell, a Manquar up on the far post. Miscontrol by Davis, but likewise a Manquar just running out of room. Saban just dropping a bit deeper now for Swindon.
Could be a big save that by the big keeper, Remming there. 3-1, chasing the game, down to 10 men. Comes out, great block. Lee Peacock there, anticipating that he could just slot it past the big keeper, but he'd advanced on the angle, and he's kept his side well in the game now.
Yes, I think goal there, and we're talking game over. Peacock denied. Still in the melting pot, and Andy King certainly still believes his side can pull something out of the fire. Sure, he'd settle for a point at this stage if they could just get that equaliser.
But he was trying to get on the pitch then to make it 11-11.
Aaron Brown. Tinian. Manquar. City just letting the ball do the work, making Swindon chase. Draw every last ounce of energy out of the opposition. This is Aaron Brown. That's a good ball. Burnell in an advanced position. Peacock wants it laid back early. It's Bell who hits it. Grimmick again distinguishes himself. Well, he was perhaps fortunate the rebound favoured him, but he deserved his bit of luck, the goalkeeper. That was a terrific block from a stinging drive. Foley. Adam Willis defending well for Swindon.
Great save, big man. Second time you've kept your team in the game. Set back, Nicky Bell's shot. Parried away, doesn't drop for Rodriguez, goes past all the green shirts. But as you richly said in his defence of that, making that save, he deserved a bit of luck. He didn't drop to a green shirt.
It's set up for some climax here. Bristol City still in the box seat, but Swindon are straining every sinew to try and get back into this game. We do get the feeling the visitors may just pop up with a third, which could effectively kill it. Foley with the flick on. Saban, unfortunately, was heading in the opposite direction.
Ball just being knocked forward there. Peacock trying to get it into the corner so they could turn the defenders round, and looks as though now they've gone a tight three. Swindon pushing other people forward.
Ball by Foley. I think we do now have another update on the sending off of Swindon's Alan Reeves. Nigel Turner beavering away down on the touchline. What's the news?
Yeah, well, the latest word coming from the dressing room where Alan Reeves was sent for that early bath is that he was lining up in the defensive wall and kicked out at a City player. So not a foul and abusive language, it was violent conduct, apparently.
Well, it was a mystery to many in the stadium, but Mr. Rennie clearly saw something and took immediate action in sending Reeves off the field. But to be fair to Swindon, they've made a good fist of it without him. Bell's cross. Davis did well to get there ahead of Murray.
Just need that goal now. That third goal would see Bristol City home sweetly, I would say.
Well, they're a team who scored more goals on their travels than any other side in Division 2, so they're well capable. Not this time, though. Burnell yet to get off the mark himself this season. He did score for them last year, I remember. And
another substitution.
Well, it's a Frenchman, Eric Saban, who's off, and a young man, young by name and by nature, Alan Young is his replacement, a young striker. He scored for the reserves in midweek, just back after injury, so they're hoping he's a man in form, and they're hoping he can somehow conjure up an equaliser here this afternoon. That's great work by Invincible. It's Duke, and here is Young. My word, that would have been some substitution. He's won a corner.
Invincible forward, balls to Duke, drops, ricochets off Matthew Hill there. Young, the favourite here with the supporters, just another little quiet boy, but got a little bit of pace about him, and I'm sure would enjoy scoring this afternoon.
He's a homegrown product, is Young. Oh, Invincible! Well, he had a free header if he hadn't have missed the ball completely. Where was the Bristol City marking there? It was reminiscent of the Matt Hill goal first half. Invincible missed his header, and I think it was Hayward behind him. Didn't really get a clear view of it.
Well, Bristol City 2-0 up last week against Wigan, 2-2. 2-0 up this week against 10 men. Mentally, very difficult for the players at times.
Here they come on the counter. Rodriguez to Brown, just forced him a little wide. Bought the Swindon defence a few precious seconds to reorganise. Bell back to Brown once more. Just teasing with them far side. Foley leading the charge. Young's making his way into the middle. That's where the ball's aimed. It was just a yard or so ahead of him. My word, Bristol City are not making it comfortable for themselves or their supporters.
Or their manager. Looking at him down on the touchline there, realising that the mistake Amanko made there. Trying to chest the ball inside, give away. Andy King perhaps sensing the possibility of a goal-scoring opportunity to come their way. Can they be bright enough to take it when it does?
Tell you what, there won't be many folks leaving this one early. It really is still on a knife edge. Invincible. Well, he scored a spectacular goal to keep Swindon Town in this division at the end of last season against Peterborough, but no repeat dose there. Big moment here for Robin Holbert, former Swindon Town player, now about to make his bow against his old club for Bristol City, and he'll come on in place of Brian Tinian. Struggling with the hamstring problems of late, Tinian, so probably taken off as a precaution more than anything else.
I'll go along with that. Getting a little bit longer in the tooth, Brian, now, and the muscles start to tighten up a little bit, so make sure you don't put any stresses and strains out there.
Tell you what, the introduction of Holbert won't cool it down any, though. He's a really combative player himself, and he'll feel that as next Swindon player, he's maybe got a point to prove, having been released here, so don't expect him to hold back in midfield. Needlessly conceding a corner kick, which just invites a bit more pressure and also helps Bristol City waste a few more precious seconds.
Just couldn't get his feet right, the young man there. Just lost his balance, toppled over. And it had to happen in front of all the Bristol City supporters.
Scott Murray. To play on the counter, and they're looking to utilise the pace of David Duke here. Green shirts all around him. Young, invincible. Just for a second looked like it might open up. Bristol City are playing a dangerous offside game and it hasn't worked for them. Duke's cross, overhit. Reeves did terrifically well to keep the ball in play there. Really did chase down a lost cause and kept his side in motion.
Looked a funny shape there, Bristol City. Really exposed coming down there. Right-hand flank, Swindon's left, and opportunity there for Swindon to create another goal-scoring opportunity. And I think Andy King's instrumental behind Duke going wide left and using his ability to use that pace down the left-hand side. Also now with a long throw-in.
He's going through the full gamut of emotions down there. Andy King's just been ushered back towards the technical area by the fourth official, but he's still bellowing out instructions to his troops. And making a real fight of it here. Invincible, though, muscled out of it. And now it's Bristol City looking to counter, and for a minute they're 3-on-1 here. Scott Murray may not need support. He's got Rodriguez. Grimmick's there, and he just did enough, the big goalkeeper. It's right in the melting pot, this one.
Well, there was a breakaway there, and as you rightly said in commentary, Phil, 3-on-1. Scott Murray there, clever back heel, just goes too far advanced for Rodriguez, and the keeper comes out again to make that necessary block, and he's made two good saves and one block there for me, Grimmick, to keep his side in the game.
Foley powering his way towards the corner flag. Bell prevents him making further progress. Home fans just turn up the volume another notch. Duke, you can bet, will hurl it long once more. Hayward's jostling, Willis is in there. Keeper came and didn't make it. At least not convincingly so anyway. Difficult for Phillips, has to make a snap judgment to try and fight his way through a forest of bodies.
If I was him, I'd stay at home. Don't come for the first one, the second one's going to beat you.
Well, it'll be the same again here for Duke and Swindon. Hayward got the touch, Foley's there. On the volley, it's Young. Everybody's back defending for Bristol City. David Duke pulls the trigger. Well, the angle was always against him. It looked spectacular, but he might have been better served teeing up somebody in the middle.
Well, Bristol City here going through a few nervy moments. You know, they've got a position where they can see 3 points, taking them to second place. But for me, Phil, they're looking very, very unsteady at the back. They haven't had that shape, they haven't had that discipline that we saw early on. The three youngsters now learning to live with pressure. Amankwa, Coles and Matty Hill. And the vital ingredients will be also Murray and Bell as the wing-backs.
McAreevy's going off. He's done well apart from his aberration discipline-wise. He's certainly run his heart out. James Williams on in his stead. Bristol City look as though they're lining up a change as well. So it's all action on the dugout area. Certainly all out action on the field in this second period. And still, the result is in some doubt. Coles beaten by the bounce of the ball. Robinson wins the free kick. Hope springs eternal for Swindon Town.
Another substitution. Bristol City.
Yeah, I think they're looking for experience. It's Lever waiting to come on, and I think they're just looking for an older head to maybe settle things down at the back. It's been a bit chaotic for them in the last 15 minutes or so.
Similar move to what they did at Cardiff, taking a midfield player off and sending a defender on.
Yes, it's no reflection on the way Aaron Brown's played that he's being withdrawn. It's just that they do need to steady the ship at the back. So Lever, who's had his injury problems, but since regaining fitness has simply not been able to fight his way back into the team, gets his chance here. And he's pressed into action immediately as the free kick comes in from Robinson. Offside flag raised against Foley.
Noticing there when Lever came on, went straight up to pick Hayward up the big centre half for Swindon had come up for the free kick, and it looks as though they've left him as the big tall man that they're just going to aim for, going to play two off him. Foley and Young play off Big Haywood now, and it'll be Route 1 stuff. Very, very direct, but see if they can get rich pickings.
Bell for Bristol City. It's very difficult to ascertain any kind of Swindon formation at the moment. It almost looks like they've gone 3-3-3 with their 9 outfield players.
I'll go along with that. Phil sat up here.
But, you might as well go down 3-1 as 2-1. And still no points on the table. There's a little bit of a confrontation there between Andy King and Danny Wilson. I think it was all good-humoured.
Very good-humoured, I must emphasise that. Very good-humoured. Especially as Andy King dropped the ball.
Rodriguez just trying to hold the ball up, and it's an important job for Bristol City at the moment, one they haven't done so well of late. Here is Haywood in that emergency striking role. No way through for him that time.
Gremick did well there when he's come out, anticipated the ball going down into that flank position. He's got out there, tried to knock the ball along to his defender, but unfortunately just a little bit too strong and going out for a throw-in.
Kick for Bristol City. Lee Peacock. Burnell, referee's whistle has blown. Tapping the shorts as the fourth official signalled 4 minutes of added on time.
I'm still thinking.
Scott Murray trying to hold the line to stay onside. They haven't succeeded. Time running out though for Swindon Town. Forward to Duke. Foley, Haywood, a little cushioned header, David Duke, didn't quite break for him.
Another long
Duke with the throw.
Yeah, another long one, can he? Now he's gone short. They've sucked everybody in and gone out to Choir Boy Robinson.
Up in the air from Coles, a little rush of blood on his part there. Foley on the turn, and Manquar blocked it. It's frenetic stuff. Swindon have a free kick, and Swindon still believe they can get something out of this afternoon.
Delivery, delivery, delivery.
Tell you what, it looks as though he's lining up for a shot here.
He did get a knock on the head, didn't he?
Hold on to your hats, it's Foley, and it's cannoned into the wall. Robinson. Into the business area. Good goalkeeping, Steve Phillips. Took no prisoners there as he came to get the ball out of harm's way. Invincible. Williams. Davis, Foley. Just no way through. It's a thick green defensive line that's been drawn now by Bristol City. Davis launches it long. Hayward is straining to get there. It's Levo who heads clear though. Ball out of play. Last throw of the dice perhaps for Swindon Town.
Living on the nerve ends now, those green shirts down there.
No prizes for guessing what's coming up here. Duke's long throw, heads are up. Foley's there. Scott Murray facing his own goalkeeper. It's just the job as far as Bristol City are concerned. The clock now very much in their favour. Manquar forward. Murray. He could finish it here, Scott Murray. 2 in pursuit, still going Murray. Grimmick is there.
Well, he's been the mainstay, Grimmick, of his team staying in the game, and a great distribution there.
Oh, I tell you what, Hayward might just make it. Well, there was no stopping the big man there as he clattered into Phillips. Both goalkeepers in action in a matter of seconds.
Well, at 10 men, Swindon have definitely looked a better team, and there's the whistle.
Yes, a handshake between the two managers, but it's Danny Wilson who'll be the happier man tonight. But my word, his team had him living on the old nerve endings at the end there. City, remember, who led early on in the first half thanks to Matt Hill. They had a good start to the second half with Swindon going a man down before Foley there got a goal for them. That amazing instant which really turned the whole game though had Reeves sent off in an instant, and from the free kick Lee Peacock there rammed in what has proved to be the winning goal for Bristol City. They can celebrate another away win, the men in green. They've completed a league double over Swindon Town and they've maintained their push for promotion. Remember, results went their way yesterday, although Reading went up to the top of the table, but City really are up there in the shake-up now. The final score at the county ground, it's Swindon Town 1, Bristol City 2. We can get some reaction now down at the tunnel area with our man Nigel Turner.
Yes, thanks Phil, and with me I've got the City goal scorer Matt Hill and man of the match. You must be well pleased.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant, you know, pleased for the players, you know, and for myself to get a goal, you know, my first goal, so it's brilliant, you know.
But in the end, Swindon took you quite close, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right. You know, we worked hard, but it went, you know, to 10 men, and to be honest, they worked hard and you know, pushed hard, but, you know, we held on and we won the game, so it's the main thing.
Brilliant, well done, Matt. Then we have the other goal scorer, Lee Peacock. You didn't get 2 today, but you'll be pretty pleased with the one you did get.
Yeah, just happy to be scoring again, you know what I mean? It was a bit of a shank in the top corner. No, you don't practice that in training. But luckily enough, just went in. But good performance. Made it a bit of hard work for ourselves at the end. A bit sloppy at time, but we got through it and another 3 points.
Little hairy at the end, wasn't it?
Oh, I know, a few scares. But like I said, the defence was solid. I mean, and we got ourselves through it.
Lee, well done. Thanks very much indeed. I'm sure you want to get into the dressing room. So that's the situation here, pitch side. Bristol City winning by 2 goals to 1. Stay with us. Plenty more reaction coming up after the break.
Soccer Sunday with Nationwide. Football matters.
Choose our green tariff, and you're contributing towards the development of renewable energy. Now, how good does that sound? SWEB, devoting our energies to you.
Your finest burger of cheese, my lady. The same, but of twice the size.
And I'll have thrice the size.
At BK, single, double, or triple cheeseburgers at a price to suit any purse.
There
here.
Who's moving in?
The movie people.
Coming March the 16th, Walt Disney Studios, a new theme park at Disneyland Resort Paris.
Say, who wants to go meet the new neighbors?
Come live the magic of cinema. Walt Disney Studios at Disneyland Resort Paris.
Do you mind if I... Thanks very much.
During new orbit with xylitol after meals fights plaque acid, which helps knock tooth decay into orbit.
Afternoon.
Afternoon, Brian.
Silly man. Always up that flipping ladder. DIY this, DIY that. Because you're an expert at everything, aren't you, Brian? Even home insurance. Spending hours ringing round. Wouldn't dream of calling the AA who searched through a load of companies for you. Oh, no. Find a great deal and make life easy? That wouldn't do, would it, Brian?
Call 0800 444 777.
I've had your present when I've been enough.
I already know what's inside.
David Ames' perfect life
When will you call me? Soon!
is about to become
What do I owe this pleasure?
The pleasure of Sophia. When did you stop caring, David?
a nightmare.
You've been charged with murder. Julie is alive. Someone did this to me.
Now, his search for the truth
How much did they pay you?
is going to take him farther than he ever imagined. Vanilla Sky.
What is this fabric? It's incredible.
Cahoots. This is Cahoot country.
Are we safe?
Young lady, until we find a footprint, we are perfectly safe.
What do we do then?
Run like the wind.
Look here, Pa.
Is it Cahoot?
No, just another chunk of gold.
Today's my lucky day, a royal flush.
Hey, not so fast. Cahoot.
The kid's got Cahoot.
Kids got Kahoot.
What do you want, Echo?
Echo.
For an incredible rate of 8% typical APR on a flexible loan of £1,000 to £15,000, visit Kahoot.com. Like banking, only different.
What are you laughing at? The kids got Kahoot.
Soccer Sunday live with Nationwide. Football matters.
So 50 quid my mark, because the final score was Swindon Town 1, Bristol City 2, as I predicted. Let's see where that leaves City and Swindon in the league table as of now. Bristol City, as you can see, up to second, but that might only be for about the next hour or so, because at the moment Stoke City are leading at Northampton by 1-0. So they, of course, will go back above City if it stays like that. That was a 3 o'clock kick-off. Swindon, meanwhile, well, no difference for them. They're beginning to struggle, down in 18th place, 31 points from their 24 games. But a fair result, do you think, or not? Because Swindon came back well.
Yeah, Swindon definitely made more of a contest of its second half. Played a slightly more direct, asked a few more questions of Bristol City's defence. So it was on the old, I suppose you would say it was a fair result.
Well, let's take a look at the goals. The first one, obviously, in the first half, and we talked about it before. But if you missed it, it wasn't the best defending in the world.
No, absolutely not.
He was given a bit too much space there, Matt Hill.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was free to run into the box unopposed and just had to hit the target, really. From Swindon's point of view, a poor goal to give away, but fair play to him. He saw the gap, made the effort to get there, and got his header on target.
Well, ironically, Swindon actually started the second half, we thought, the better of the two sides.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they definitely asked a few more questions of Bristol. Got at the back three slightly better. Saban, who was worked quite hard, I thought, throughout the game. He started asking a few questions as well, and were unlucky not to maybe even create a few more chances than what they did.
And they went 2-0 down there instead, and what a cracker, a free kick that you would have been proud of, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he says he didn't practice this on the training ground, but absolutely great accuracy, great power, and I don't know if the keeper was on that side, but he just had to watch it go in. A great goal from his point of view, and he kept a good display from him. I thought he played well, and he's one of their better players today.
Yeah, there was a lot of power in that free kick. That was the thing about it.
Absolutely, yeah. Well controlled, great strike, and you know, I don't know if he scored a lot of goals like that, but that's probably one of his better goals, I'd say.
Now, words like rubbish, pants and things like that, we were talking about at half-time about the new guy Foley, but he made us eat our words with a fantastic goal for Swindon.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Took his goal unbelievably well. Davies does well here, knocks a great ball into him, sees him on side, and he just great lob over the goalkeeper, great accuracy, and he, you know, definitely improved second-half performance from him. And that'll bode well for him. Hopefully he can get to know his teammates better now and know their strengths and weaknesses, and that'll improve his game no end.
Now, one thing we need to quickly talk about, those the sendings off. Uriah Rennie, he won sending off, but there could have been 3 players that should have been. Swindon could have been down to 7 by the end.
Absolutely, yeah. That tackle there was, he's fortunate to just get away with the booking there.
It was due. This is Davis.
This one here, yeah.
It'd already been booked.
Absolutely, yes. Sol, he's found himself very lucky there. Very petulant that was really, and quite frankly, he gets shot from someone, I don't know who, there and goes straight down. So he's lucky to stay on there. And this one again.
Again, he'd been booked.
It's been booked already, and again, petulance just strikes him. Very fortunate to stay on the pitch.
Amazing he didn't send more players off then. Well, thanks, Mark, for now. We'll have a look at your boys, in fact, now, and see how they got on yesterday. Gary Thompson made 2 changes to the side, which lost against City. David Hillier replaced youngster Drew Shaw, and Mike Trout didn't survive last Wednesday's debacle. He was replaced by Scott Jones. Nathan Ellington was looking to continue his fine scoring form of late. Scunthorpe were without the experienced Lee Hodges, whose wife was in labour, but they did field the former Sheffield United, Everton and Bradford winger Peter Beagrie and the ex-City striker Steve Torpey. Your commentator at the Memorial Stadium is Nigel Turner.
Sergio Ommel gets the flick on, but not to goal. Here's Beagrie for Scunthorpe. Hassled out of it. Here's Ommel. It's good work by Smith, that. Ommel with a cross looking for Ellington! Oh, what a goal! Nathan Ellington! (1-0) Bristol Rovers, and Nathan Ellington repeats the dose from last week in the Cup. It was great work initially by Mark Smith. He and Ommel combined to dispossess Scunthorpe. Ommel with the cross in, Ellington, how he controlled it like that. And then an instant smashed it into the net, 1-0. But now there's trouble for the Rovers at the other end as Carruthers goes down. And the referee's given a penalty. Carruthers right the way through. And the referee was a fair way behind, but had a clear view, it seemed. Beagrie against Howie. And he saved it with his feet. Well, that really will lift the home side, won't it? They thought they were going to be pegged straight back, but Howie saves from what was admittedly a pretty poor penalty by Beagrie. Ommel. To Plummer, made good space. Gall was offside, now he's had to check back. Finds Ellington. Ellington doesn't mind taking on 3. Plummer bravely gets in there, and this could be number 2. Lewis Hogg, maybe a little bit too thoughtful about it and allowed Evans to make the save. Seemed like Hogg couldn't make up his mind which side to put it. Instead put it straight against the keeper's legs. What can Beagrie do this time? Oh, that's a dangerous looking cross. Ferran hits his own crossbar. Well, that was remarkable. Bullet header, and thankfully for the Rovers defender, came straight back off the frame. Here's Carruthers. Beagrie. Torpey. Carruthers bursting through, trying to get past Ferran, but look at this, free on the right-hand side is Sparrow. Can he get it back on his left foot? He's taking an age. Sparrow, good save by Howie. Well, Matthew Sparrow wanted so many chances to get his shot away. It was on target when it eventually came, but he did give the keeper a chance to gather himself, and What a save. Carruthers making space to get that left foot cross in, all the way across. And, well, that was touched wide. I'm not quite sure how he managed to miss that. It was Lewis Hogg who got the touch on it. The ball had dropped to McComb, who all he seemed to have to do was slide the ball into the net, but somehow Hogg deflected it wide of the post. Corner in. Still Rovers don't have it clear. Sparrow jinking in off the back of Hogg and through and in. Garcia with the goal. Alex Calvo Garcia through a crowd of players, his 5th goal of the season and the equaliser for Scunthorpe. But it was a messy goal when it came to it. Rovers trying to get the block on it. The ball spun out to Garcia and then spun past the grasp of Scott Howie, and it's one apiece. There's Beagrie as ever, and once again Carruthers and Torpey, the twin strike force, are up there looking for the cross from Beagrie, which they may get. It comes right the way across the goal to Torpey, kept out by the hand of Howie just at the last moment. Cameron, Ellington, and now Cameron bursting through. He's got Walters up there with him. Cameron tried the shot, and that could be nasty one for the keeper. No, well over the bar, and it's out for a corner. Rovers 5 games without defeat at home, but they're looking to make this a victory as the ball comes in. Header in and flicked over the bar by the keeper for another corner. Flicked on from Carruthers to Torpey and back to Carruthers. Sparrow making ground into the penalty box. Torpey's there as well, and the ball might come through to Carruthers. Last gasp challenge coming in from Chalice. Saved the day. And now Sparrow's still clear in the box. 4 Rovers defenders round him. They've still not got it clear. Here's Garcia. Desperate defending at the moment. Beagrie into the penalty box again, and it could be Torpey, saved by the goalkeeper's arms and legs. Forward by Dawson to Beagrie again. He's going all the way. He's got Torpey with him. A shot comes in, and Torpey's scored the winner. This time Torpey has got it, but no, it's disallowed. Scunthorpe think they've got the winner, but the flag's up on this near side. Disallowed for I don't know what. And there is the final whistle, a dramatic end to a dramatic match.
To be fair, he was lucky it was offside, because that would have been heartbreaking.
It was marginal as well, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was too much in it, but sometimes you have a little bit of luck, and I've got to say that it was nice to get that little bit of luck today, because they gave me so much. They've worked so hard. Ever since I got involved in it with them again, they've given me everything, and this has been the longest week they've had.
Were you a bit lucky there, Mark, do you think?
You have to say, you know, with the new laws now, it's giving the forward the benefit of doubt. He did look slightly level, can I say?
Gary seemed to think that you might have got away with it.
Yeah, I think to be fair, look on our pictures there, we were fortunate, but you know, we've drew a bit of luck actually after Wednesday's game. Nothing went right for us that day, so you know, to say things levelled itself out over the season. So hopefully that was a bit of luck we've had there.
Yeah, and Nathan, another good goal from him.
Yeah, tremendous control he took to get hold of the ball. I don't know how he does it. I don't think he'd know himself, to be fair. It was tremendous ability he's got, and slid it in after that. So great goal, and he's on a great run of form at the minute, as you know.
Do you think you're going to lose him?
Unfortunately, I think we might lose him, because you know he's great talent, and obviously he wants to do well himself and go on and play at a high level. So eventually he's going to probably go. But while he's here, hopefully we can get the best out of him.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Mark. Well, that's it for this week. The big game, as we know, finished Swindon 1, Bristol City 2, and City, for now, up to second. Goodbye.
Next week we're live again with action from the nationwide First Division as we bring you West Brom against Walsall. Plus we'll have the best of the action from City v Northampton and Rovers at Torquay, plus the goals from Swindon's trip to Peterborough.
Soccer Sunday.
Simon, I said to him, Simon, if
think you could pull off a new romantic? and less history.
Have you played many gigs? Played any gigs at all?
Yeah, we've done a couple of gigs actually. We played one in Chichester and one in Kirkcaldy.
You have to excuse his stammer, but apparently it's outrage now if you want to be a pop star.
I'm going for it, yeah.
You've got a bit of a list, can't you?
Yeah, yeah.
You seem not to be able to say your F's or your T's.
Well, I can't say fairer than that.
No! Being New Romantics, do you know Boy George?
Yeah,
what's he up to now?
Well, I've heard he's doing a bit of stand-up. He's become a comedian.
That stammer is bad, isn't it? Love your hair.
Oh, do you like me, eh? Thanks a lot. I take a lot of pride in me, actually. That's why I'm a little bit late today. Because I had to sprint up to the local shop before they closed so I could get me, you know, my favourite shampoo.
Pantene?
Yeah, I was a little bit out of breath.
Tell you what, I love that. That's a beautiful silk. Is that from Thailand?
No, but my leg warmers are from sock shop.
Have you done a video yet?
Yeah, we actually went off to Peru on a big budget shoot.
Really?
Yeah, but one of the backing singers got terrified when she had to climb on the back of this big furry goat thing.
A llama?
Yeah, she was petrified.
Oh, wow, as well.
Not quite the goat, but we'll go with it. Did you have a good flight out there?
Yeah, it was all right, but I hated the check-in.
Oh, you don't want to do it for the chicken. You have the beef or the vegetarian option. Anyway, where's your next?
It's in Russia.
Yeah.
So we must go.
Okay. Would you like to join me again? Please, lovely Kelly. Ooh, lovely Kelly. What's she got? She's got the... OK, yeah, it's the romance of the cup there. And if you want to win this T-shirt, you have to give us a ring now to enter the competition World Cup 2002. The number is 09002 444 579. 09002 444 579. You're hot. Ow. Like Pels Bells.
Thanks, Tim. Right, coming next, Matt Letizia shows us how to score wonder goals, and Chris Kamara sticks his beak in at yet another Premiership club.
Green gives us energy. We go to the mountains and walk barefoot in the snow. High up, the air is fresh. We eat well.
In winter, our country is a rainbow land. Each color has its own mood. Some intoxicate, others cool you down.
Tonight, share Patak's passion for India.
I leaned back, the world in front of me. Where was I going? Who cares, I thought. It's my crazy ride. No one else's. Something drove me on, man. Something wild saying, be yourself. King of your craziness, master of your beat. I leaned back and rolled on.
With up to 3 times more vitamins than ever before,